Hey everyone, Sweeney here, and welcome to the monthly reload number 39. Now, some of the top headlines include how I got 6.2 million views and 144,000 followers, 30 actionable tips to increase traffic, how to increase email reads by 75%, and $2,000 in 5 days without a business idea. So, if this is your first monthly reload, what we aim to do is get you caught up on what you might have missed in the month with the monthly reload. So we hand curate the best posts, news, videos, tools, tips, tactics, techniques, all that good stuff, and we press it out into this monthly reload. So we do all the hard work for you and stay on top of things so you don't have to. Now, if you can see at the top of my browser window here and you see how many tabs I have open, you can see the kind of work that really goes in. So starting off, our first subject is Google will begin ranking mobile-friendly sites higher starting April 21st. So starting April 21st, big changes coming. Google is going to give you a bump depending on whether or not your site is mobile-friendly or Surface app results. And they're going to result much higher. Now, someone had pointed out, Terrence Mace, to check how big of an impact this is going to have on your organic traffic, log into analytics and go to audience mobile overview and apply a secondary dimension of medium and look for mobile organic traffic. So if anyone's looking to go mobile friendly, he did publish a post recently on the steps that you need to do to take in order to be mobile friendly. Pretty big deal. Those of you guys that don't have a responsive site, you're going to notice it. You're going to notice a big hit where the others will flourish. Also, YouTube recently announced YouTube cards. So those of you that are familiar with Twitter cards, they're somewhat similar. And now you can inform your viewers about other videos, merchandise, playlists, websites, and more. They look as beautiful as your videos and are available anytime during the day, or during the video rather. And yes, they finally work on mobile. Now, we also have a bonus little link here, which is how to set up and use YouTube information and interactive cards by Daryl Eves. This guy is always posting on everything YouTube. Next up, we have the Facebook Money app, or the Facebook Money Messenger, rather. So you can now send money to your friends via Messenger. Easy and free. Pretty freaking cool. We've seen Square Cash pop up. We've seen more and more of these start to come along. I like it. I mean, it really helps if you're out about, maybe you have, whatever happens. It's a good way to bounce around cash. And we all know as marketers and business people, the easier it is to transfer money. At the end of the day, the more business we can conduct. Next up, we also have website conversion tracking. This comes to us from Pinterest. So recently, you can track conversions based on clicks, engagements, and views. This is kind of a big deal because I've been talking about promoted pins for a while. I think they're huge, especially for people in the e-commerce platform. I just had an idea that literally popped into my head as I was reading this. Pinterest is a big deal, and I'm sure the advertising, I haven't gotten the numbers yet, but I'm sure the inventory is extremely cheap to buy right now. Next up, Twitter is pushing out their official plugin for WordPress. So you can do embedded tweets, videos, button, cards, analytics, follow button, and even can track your ads even more easily. So pretty cool. I like that they're putting out their own official plugin. It seems like this maybe should have came a long time ago if they were going to do it. But hey, I know it takes time to make things happen. And maybe they're kicking around in the sandbox for a while. Happy to see that it's out. Now, these next few ones we have are more so just statistics. So let me close those out. So YouTube is more influential than traditional media. So after serving a bunch of youth 13 to 24 on their mobile and social media preferences, media usage, preferences, and consumption, the study found that online video viewed on sites like YouTube is watched by 96% of youth at an average of 11 hours per week. By comparison, traditional TV is viewed by only 81% at an average of 8 hours per week. So 11 hours compared to 8 hours and about 15% more. Also, slightly more than 6 in 10 of those surveyed said they would try a product or brand suggested by a YouTube star, while fewer than half would try a product or brand suggested by a TV or movie star. Now, this doesn't frankly surprise me too much. In the same way that I'm able to speak to you in what feels like a one-to-one conversation, YouTube stars are able to do. You're able to build a relationship with your audience. You're able to interact with them on social media and upload pictures of your cat and what you ate for lunch, right? And that's how we build bonds with a person. That's how we feel closer to a person. Whereas a TV or a movie star, they're so big, you're still going to kind of feel a little bit more of that, that window between you two. Next up, 77% of companies are increasing their digital budgets. This is just a fun little stat. Those of you that are doing marketing, maybe you want to throw this out there, use this in your campaigns or something like that. Now this next one, this one I like. Case study, product videos are 174% more likely to convert. So a leading toy manufacturer, step 2, partnered with a video marketing agency and retailers to showcase their products in action. Now, over time, they have found their video viewers are 174% more likely to convert than non-viewers. That's a huge, huge, huge number. And those of you in e-commerce that are waiting on product videos, you're waiting too long. All right, now we're going to bump into our top stories. First off, why content marketers are overcoming their fears and learning to love the pop-up. So yes, we all know that people hate pop-ups. However, when you use them correctly, pop-ups work. Now, it's all about carefully watching and tracking the user experience, the reader experience, without crossing the line and becoming annoying, repetitive, and pushy. Then we have the new Relics growth playbook from startup to IPO. Now, this is a very awesome breakdown. Growth Hacker does an awesome, great job on these kind of posts. And it goes from how they got their initial early traction and how they carried it out through IPOs. Now, one of the things you might not know is that they're very big on giving away t-shirts. And this was actually fundamental in their success. Now, you might say, Sweeney, I don't care about some company that gave out t-shirts, but seeing as how they just IPO'd at about $1.6 billion, I think you should care. Also, if you're trying to reach developers, there's no better blueprint. We also have how I got 6.2 million page views and 144,000 followers. So this is a guide for people who don't have the best writing skills or the budget to spend on clicks, but who need to grab the attention of their audience through organic storytelling. Now, this is an article sharing what the author has learned, and please note that page views or followers count don't necessarily mean success or good content. Now, it's four-parter. 1, before writing, preparing for the storm and setting the right engines in place. 2, writing style and essentials of an article that will get huge traffic. Part 3, being ready to publish, things to do when you're ready to hit the publish button. And then part 4, post-publishing, how to get into big media outlets, how to double your blog traffic with redistribution, and some other channels that no one else thinks of. And this is actually on Medium. And it's a pretty short and quick guide, very punchy. And then we also have Vero, 5 things we learned analyzing 100 million plus emails. You want to hear them? I'll give them to you. Number 1, context is the killer advantage. Number 2, I believe, timing. Sorry. There's no best day to send emails. Number 3, frequency. Frequency is all about expectations. Number 4, copy length doesn't really matter. And lastly, 5, images are worth 1,000 words sometimes. Now we also have this post, 16 common questions about fundraising. And this really does kind of feel a little bit out of place. I know we kind of get into the startup scenario. We've been covering more startup-like articles and such, but why are we talking about fundraising? Well, when I used to work for Startup Jungle, I did some research and writing about fundraising, and it is extremely difficult very consuming, and it sidetracks your business. So when I saw this awesome resource of the 16 common questions about fundraising, I knew I had to share it with you guys, because who knows where our ambitions may take us. And I hope that we all have companies so big that we have to raise funds one day, even though a lot of us tend to be bootstrappers. Then we have the idea person. Many people in a creative field, myself included, have succumbed to the fantasy of the idea person. This is one of those I include because I see a trend. I see a lot of people ending up the same way. And I even see this with successful entrepreneurs from time to time. If we don't have other people that check us and put us in our place, for lack of a better term, we become so focused on the ideas and the what ifs and the if it could be. The reason why we're entrepreneurs, the reason why we have success is because we get shit done. That's why. So don't fall into this fallacy of, oh, I'm great with the ideas, or I'm the idea person. Become a follow through person. That's someone who executes, who makes things happen. That's the guy you want to be. Then we have 15 actionable content marketing tips to drive more traffic. Now, I knew I'd love this because the first one is send paid traffic at converting third-party sites. So, I mean, the concept of finding an article or someone that's mentioning you or talking about you that converts over well, sending traffic to it, that's a very awesome way to drive traffic. We have another article too, which is 15 insanely actionable tips to increase blog traffic. So between the two of these, we have 30 very actionable tips that you can use. For example, create non-branded Facebook pages to drive more Facebook traffic. Or I'm sorry, to drive more traffic. Next up, we have 6 creative ways to integrate social media and email marketing by Buffer. And this is something that gets overlooked. You know, how can we kind of play off both of them? You know, I mean, how often I talk to someone that hasn't even heard of a custom audience on Twitter or Facebook, and being able to upload your entire email list and then reach out to them and try to market to them, or try to stay in touch with them, follow them back, whatever and what have you. So I really like this post. They break it down, they make it easy. For example, LinkedIn, Google+, all the different areas. Next up, we have 2 articles from Video Fruit. The first is how to get 739 people to read your next email case study. This is called the subject dry run. So basically, this is a little trick that he has been using, Video Fruit, and he's been getting a ton of emails opened up. And basically by using it, I'm pretty sure he's been able to skip the promotions in the social and instead end up in the primary. So check this one out, especially if you're sending a lot of emails. Now we also have how Jonathan made $2,000 in 5 days without a business idea. Now, I'm familiar with this actual post, or at least what he is talking about. But what I love about it is that he actually made it happen. Brian Harris, Video Fruit, had mentioned a long time ago that you can basically take information on the internet and just do it for people. And you don't have to know how to do it or have ever done it before, because it's all there in the blog post. You just have to actually do the work. Does that connect with anything we said before? Maybe about being an idea person versus someone who gets stuff done. So this guy did it, and sure enough, he made $2,000 in 5 days. So if maybe you're younger, maybe you're trying to transition, you are trying to freelance, trying to figure out what you want to do, take something else out there and do it for someone else, and you can still make money. Then we have Quick Sprouts, what I learned about content marketing by analyzing 614 posts. And I do believe I broke that down on the blog for us. So infographics do extremely well. People enjoy reading personal and controversial stories. Timing does matter. Guides rank better than posts, but for a different reason than you think. People love data. Descriptive headlines perform better in the long run. Now it is time for tool time. So this is usually tools, but sometimes also guides and other things that fit into this realm. First one, 31 WordPress plugins to boost engagement. Then we also have the beginner's guide to conversion rate optimization, which is actually the same guide that Jonathan used to make $2,000 in 5 days. Boom, look at that. For some reason, everything is connecting very nicely in today's reload. Next up, we have free stuff for startups, free stuff, tools, products with free plans to help you get started by hitting Shaw. Just giving you guys free stuff when I can. We also have the big list of SEO tools, over 200 plus. And it is, they tell you to the right whether it's a free tool or not, as well as its function. Next, we have the Ultimate Growth Hacking Sourcebook. Nice pop-up they had there. So you might be thinking, another collection of marketing tactics. Aren't there enough good guides floating around? Not really. That's the problem that they had. They read them and they weren't really impressed with them. So instead they created one of their own. We also have Stock Snap. This is beautiful, free stock photos. Always mentioning stock photos. Photos are worth 1,000 words, aren't they? So here's another, ooh, man, this, I'm looking at a pair of chicken wings next to a pair of cupcakes. And as a man that has been eating very clean recently, gotta say this is looking delicious. But anyways, more photos are always helpful. Photos really do color the web. And anytime you can use them in your materials, in your postings, make them your own, you're gonna have more success. We also have freebie.supply. These are 300 awesome free things for entrepreneurs and startups, anywhere from design, code, marketing, business, productivity, and just learning. I looked around a little bit. It is very legit. We also have momentum.cc. This is an iOS app that helps you form new habits with streaks and staying on track reminders. Now, why am I mentioning something like this? Because how important are habits to a successful entrepreneur? Very, very important, extremely important. You can start meditating, you can start exercising, at least taking a morning walk, not checking your email first hour of the day. Tons of different habits you can build as an entrepreneur that's going to make you and your business more successful. We also have Google Calendar 2, which everyone's very excited for because it helps you plan out your day based on your email inbox. Pretty interesting. Next up, we have Meerkat, which beautiful little site here, tweets live video. I just think that's really cool. I just think that's a cool way to engage with your audience in a different way. I've been thinking about ways I can use it for events and such. Next up, we have cash.me, which is Square Cash, aka cash tags. This is pretty cool. So what you can do is you can get paid via cash tags for things you do online or in person. Now you can look through this beautiful little site here. So basically you can have a cash tag, and then whenever someone uses your cash tag, you can get paid. So once again, between Facebook Messenger and now cash tags, things are getting easier and easier and easier to transfer money. And I love it. And then we have the Freelancer's Guide to Good Jobs in Great Pay. And then lastly, YC-backed Packable. So that's P-A-K-I-B-L-E. Makes it dead simple for businesses to design and ship packaging. So this is pretty cool. Basically, you can make your own packaging for pretty cheap and pretty easily. Custom branded packaging. Why not, right? All right, now we're breaking into the rest of the stories of our reload. First one being Brick by Brick, a free guide to building awesome communities. This is pretty important. I mean, a lot of us in this day and age, we have a Facebook group or maybe a mastermind. And Colin Theroux, I mean, he was on the podcast. He makes a large percentage of his income just based off of his Facebook group. And, he doesn't work that hard, as he says. And being able to build a strong community, you can build a good income. Next up, we have Company Spotlight, how lead pages use influencer marketing to grow to 25,000 customers. Ooh. We have Why I'm Marketing My Startup Before We Have a Product. And this is actually about an e-commerce This is about an e-commerce website. So don't just think it's, quote unquote startup. And I like this. I like the idea of getting out there and hustling a bit before you even have your product ready. Then we have programmatic advertising in a nutshell, part 1. This is pretty good stuff here. Programmatic advertising is certainly taking over the web, and it's a good write-up and easy way to learn more about it. Plus, we got this really cute image here. Then we have 6 data-backed strategies for getting more replies to your sales emails. Salesforce coming through with some very strong content. We have do promotions really increase your e-commerce conversion rates? And the answer is yes. According to the article, 50% of consumers make a purchase only when an offer or promotion is involved. Thus, promotions can be a very powerful tool that can help you encourage your customers all the way along your funnels, right to the checkout page where there's a promotion offering them a reward for making the purchase. Then we have how to promote your blog posts to get 10,000 social shares without spending a penny. 101 sales templates and emails that you can use today to close more deals. I mean, this thing is extensive. What's cool about it, though, is it gives you an idea of at least where to start. If you're trying to write an email, maybe you're having some difficulty, having some trouble with it, not sure what to say. Jump on over this bad boy and bounce around. Then we have behavioral emails that keep customers coming back with examples from my inbox. Very quality, unbounced, always very quality. 10 most costly marketing blunders I've ever made by Neil Patel. The ultimate guide to creating a killer explainer video, also by Neil Patel. And now we have the bottom part of our section, honorable mentions. But before that, we have our tip of the week. Discover the origin story of your SaaS category, or really of your business. So, I grew up surrounded by comic books, TV shows, and movies about superheroes. I always found a superhero's origin story to be the most important. It explains the character's history to help the audience connect with her, how it all started, and how she came to be the way she is today. You can view business categories in a similar way to a superhero's journey. They usually start with people building tools in-house to get a specific job done. Somebody then starts the first business focused on helping people get that job done better, faster, and cheaper. Then more people come into the category, it evolves, and the rest is history. As a part of my product talk at Yelp a couple weeks ago, I included a few slides about the origin story of A/B testing. It's a SaaS category that's on my mind. I've recently been documenting its history. The team at Kissmetrics, where I'm a co-founder and board member, recently switched to Slack from HipChat. This got me thinking more about the category of team communication and its origin of story. It's a SaaS category where I've used all the products that have existed. My thinking resulted in a tweet and an urge to write a currently unpublished blog post. We're all creating new things out of nothing. History can play an important role in helping us decide what to do and what not to do with our own initiatives. Finding the origin story of a category enables you to understand its evolution and helps you from a point of view about what's next. Pretty interesting stuff. So now our honorable mentions. Badass, Making Users Awesome. It is a book on paperback or Kindle. Good users, good customers, good business. We also have 7 ways we increased our blog's conversion rate by 260%. Lead generation with Facebook ads, the definite guide. This guy just used an insane get-rich-quick scheme to become a startup millionaire in 3 weeks. So this is about how a guy spent his own money to get jet referrals. Very cool read. And then we have Ask Growth Hacker. How are you currently using Reddit for growth? What ignited Tinder's explosive growth? This is a full breakdown by growth hackers. This one's funny. Vince Vaughn and Getty Images Unfinished Business Growth Hack. So what they did is for their upcoming movie Unfinished Business, they photoshopped in, or I think maybe they took the pictures, I'm not sure, some of the characters from the film into a few of these like dorky looking stock photos. And you can use these photos, obviously, and buy them yourself. Pretty cool stuff, huh? Pretty funny, really. Next up, we have 7 e-commerce segmentation hacks for profitable customer loyalty. We have how to use growth hacking to attract and retain customers by Neil Patel on his personal site, neilpatel.com. How Slack became the fastest growing B2B SaaS business maybe ever by growth hackers. How to create image ads with no artistic ability in 5 minutes by PPC Hero. Pasting or embedding Google reviews on your site. Question, will they get filtered? 20 local SEO techniques you almost overlooked. Relevance score. Ad Espresso now analyzed 100,000 ads to understand and improve it. 11 ways for local businesses to get links. How a guest post became a product and the story of Cole's classroom. And then lastly, review GIF. Share the best Google reviews in a GIF in a Jiffy. So that concludes it for this month's monthly reload. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for jumping on board and joining me here. And make sure you head on over to the blog post over at digitaltriggers.io/MR39. And that's where you can get all the links to the great articles mentioned here. And I'm sure you're going to want to read and dive a bit deeper into at least a few of them. As always, this is Sweeney signing off.